and I want to see how I can contribute in India. I think this is key for empowering women and creating a future for them. Will to learn and be independent brings me here. Thank you, whoever that is by name Lenovo. Aspire for Her and DigitALL brought me here, says Siddhi. The subject of the email got me here. DigitALL Marathon needs your leadership. Thank you, Siddhi. Digital safety for women, how I can contribute towards. Same, Panendra Srinivas. Maria, combination of digital, women, aspire for her, plus curiosity. Thanks. Where can we get the recording later, or Rohit? Please stay on with us for this session, and then we'll see the recording. To contribute in my capacity to help others in digital revolution, and it keeps going, and many saying messages from Aspire for Her. Okay, I think we are at 6:05. So, Sneha.
Yeah, I have disabled mute permission, started recording. I think we're good to go to start.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Madhura, would you like to kick this off? Because people are really waiting to hear you after seeing the invite from you.
No, thank you. Thank you so much, Nija. And this is really fantastic. And I'm sorry for my voice. I'm actually quite sick, but wild horses couldn't keep me away from this session because this is very close to my heart. So I am going to tell you a little bit about what is DigitALL all about. Why did we suddenly start thinking about DigitALL? And hopefully, by the end of this session, you will have some kind of an idea as to how you can be part of the DigitALL Marathon. Thank you so much, first of all, for listening, to our appeal and sort of putting your hand up to be part of what we feel is going to be a revolution and a movement. I think most of you know what Aspire for Her is. But I'm just going to spend a few minutes for anybody who is new. So my name is Madhura Dasgupta Sinha. I'm the founder and CEO of Aspire for Her. My voice normally does not sound like this. It is just today. So I started Aspire for Her on Women's Day 2020. So we're just about 3 years old. And our vision is to add 1 million women to the workforce by 2025, because I was deeply disappointed to see women's workforce participation, economic participation of women in India to be absolutely at the bottom. In a list of 146 countries, we are 143rd. So I'm sure that number doesn't make all of you happy, as it did not make me happy. And I said, let me do something about it. Instead of waiting for someone else to do something, let me do something about it. And that is the reason Aspire for Her was born. Today, we are delighted. We have 225,000 members, mentors, and supporters across many different countries. We have 15 communities. But what do we really do? And a lot of folks actually ask me, hey, I'd love to be part of Aspire for Her. I'd love to give back. I'd love to contribute. What can I do? Every day, almost, I get messages like that. Some of you, I would imagine, are behind some of those messages, and that's why you've come here today. Not only me, our entire team actually gets messages like that saying, hey, how can we help in the sort of movement that you started? So what do we do at Aspire for Her? Let me just give you a little bit of a bird's eye view of that. And we've been thinking, how do we get more people involved in what we're doing? And how do we actually sort of answer that query to say that, what can I do? How can I be part of this movement? Because there are so many people who genuinely want to help, and they genuinely want to do something. But often we find it very difficult to have a structured sort of a space or a structured project, which we can sort of hand over to them to say, hey, you do A, B, C, D, E, and you would have done your bit towards adding women to the workforce. You would have done your bit towards spreading the word for Aspire for Her. Usually it's a little bit of a difficult abstract concept. So what we do, and this is the slide that you see here, is we use this model to change mindsets. And today we work with a whole bunch of organizations that sort of like the work that we do. And they also want to walk with us as we help attract, recruit, and retain women in the workforce. So how do we change mindsets? Well, we've got a cool formula which we use, and we call it E cube is equal to MC cube. As you can see what E cube stands for. There are 3 E's. We want every woman in India to be either in employment, entrepreneurship, or education, which leads to one of these 2. And M, C, C, and C are the 4 critical success factors that we feel are very important to change mindsets about women being a part of the workforce. The first, M, is mentors and role models. And I'm very, very happy to see a lot of our mentors also here. We have about 200 odd mentors. Who are they? You'll actually get to see on our website who they are. They're women leaders from various walks of life, and they do one-to-one and one-to-many mentorships with the members of Aspire for Her. They try to ensure that the paths to careers is shown, is opened up, and is familiarized with all our members. The first C is courses, cohorts, and learning. And this is about skilling, upskilling, and reskilling our members for the jobs of tomorrow's India. What we are about to tell you speaks a little bit to this. The next C, the next factor, stems from our strong belief: if she can see it, she can be it. So if you're following us on social media, or if you're generally following our work, you will see that almost every day we celebrate women and their careers. It's because we want our members to see people who look like them succeed. And these stories are not being told in any other media. So if there is an inspirational story, I'm sure there are many inspirational stories sitting here right today in our Zoom room. We'd love for you to talk to us about your story, and we'd love to feature that story as well. The last C is what we call community. And this is truly where all our power, our energy emanates from. We have 15 communities today, starting from girls in college to girls in school. We have early career, mid-career, senior women leaders in the corporate world. We have girls from IITs and IIMs and Premier B schools. We have a huge entrepreneurial community for aspiring entrepreneurs and women entrepreneurs. We have a huge return to work community, and they're truly, truly very close to our heart because they have been brave hearts who have gone out of their comfort zone and they want to get back into the workforce. And similarly, we have a bunch of other communities. So our communities actually connect with each other, motivate each other, elevate each other, and try and ensure that the paths to new age career options are opened up. So that's really what our model is. And today's project that we're opening up to this is an experiment from our side. So please do not think everybody's going to be perfect or everything's going to be perfect. We are still learning. But we thought that this kind of project is something where we need to get our entire community excited. We need that little bit of support from every member in the community. And that's the reason when I see 185 people here, I do understand that it is your intense desire to do something in this space which has brought you here. And we're about to give you a structured plan to do something. So DigitALL is actually this year's theme for Women's Day. From the United Nations, as you know, Women's Day is celebrated on 8th of March, and there's a theme every year. The reason why the theme this year kind of appealed to us a lot is because digital literacy and the digital gender divide is something that we feel very strongly about, because we want our women to get ready for the jobs of tomorrow's India. And that can only happen if there is some way in which they can dip their toes into the digital ocean. So this project is not a project where we will get very deep into digital courses, or we will do 100 hours and 200 hours of courses. but we want this project to open up opportunities for those girls, those women who do not know the power of digital. And we are hoping that all of you will help us open those doors. Primarily, it is meant for students, college students, who probably belong to underserved communities, or either ways, they do not have a very clear path into unleashing the power of digital. So DigitALL is really digital for all. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. We want to hit 100,000 women. And this is just a number line in the sand that we picked up, saying we want to hit 100,000 women. We want to help them discover the power of digital. And that is what DigitALL means to us. So to start with, it's a very unstructured, it was a very unstructured thought to start with, but then we had a fantastic partner who came in and wanted to walk with us on this journey. That partner is IBM. And we actually have a bunch of courses from them, which are just the right level to sort of encourage folks to dip their toes into the digital ocean. So Nija will talk a lot more about that. I don't want to steal her thunder, but this is exactly what we want to do, where all of you, we would welcome you to come in and join us as change makers, as leaders, as managers, and open up doors and windows of girls' minds to the digital or opportunity that is there in our country today. So India is poised on a huge digital revolution, as all of you know, and with our penetration of mobile internet, with our penetration of the internet in general, and mobile phones, it is actually not very difficult to start a revolution like this. We are hoping that this will become some sort of a world record, because 100,000 women are coming together and dipping their toes into the digital world. I don't think too many people have tried that, but we're always a little foolish and always a little audacious about our goals. That's the reason why we thought that we would take this number up and we would try to make this happen. What kind of role can you play? All of that is what Nija will talk about. And we're very, very happy that our entire team is behind this to make it a success. Nija, over to you. I think you can take everybody through what we have in mind, and then we can take it forward from here. But please, I would like to tell you that this is an experiment from our side. So please do not expect everything to be very beautiful and very structured. There will be experiments. We'll do well in some, and perhaps we'll fail in some, and that's perfectly okay. So that's exactly my little few words before we start off this. It's very, very close to my heart, but 100,000 is what we want to hit. And the digital revolution is what we want to welcome in our country. So thank you very much. Nija, back to you.
Thank you, Madhura. And I don't know if it's just me or I feel your voice is better now from when you started. So maybe this is the medicine. And I know some of you are seeing me looking at WhatsApp. As Madhura was speaking, I got a message from Sharada. She got a job. Okay, and this is how we are, kind of every second realizing that you may call it foolish, but that there are outcomes, right? And that's why we are on this. So fantastic. And before I get on to the process, I know a lot of questions are there. I thought, let me start with a story because Nirja cannot do without a story. When I was at ANZ many years ago, and there might be some people who are in ANZ, ex-ANZ here attending today's session, we used to get a one-day leave called as volunteer leave. Okay, paid leave that we could use to do some voluntary work in the community. We could do it on our own. We could take our teams together and do something, but that was available to us. Now, I'm talking many years ago, maybe the awareness, the appreciation of this was not there in many of us. And we would kind of wake up to it sometime in October when HR would start sending us reminders that we have not utilized this leave because it would lapse by December. And then we would wonder, what do we do? really, not too many options. Do we go to an old age home or do we go to a school? There were a few things that we would, end up. One was it used to be the Diwali season, so go and make some diyas. Some of us tried planting, trees. I tried it once. I couldn't even lift the spade. That's my fitness level of, planting trees. And then there was one favorite for most of us. So there was an NGO that continues to be an NGO, I'm not naming them, but a very famous one here in Bangalore, who run a lot of girls' schools, girls from the underprivileged sectors. And we would then end up going to those schools, spending a day with those girls, teaching them something or taking them out, having some activities, etc. And I'm just thinking now that imagine, I think the last 3 months of the year, that school probably was just enjoying because each of the teams would end up in that school trying to do something with them. So one of those years, we decided to take these girls to, the Bannerghatta National Park here in Bangalore. And so me and my team of 35 people, we went there, we got all the girls into a school bus, the teachers were there and started off. And you can imagine a bus trip, everyone is dancing. All my team members were standing and dancing and singing and Antakshari, and the kids were also doing that. I sat in a corner and I'm usually a boring person, so I don't do much. And there was one girl who was sitting behind me and she also was not participating with the other kids. So I thought maybe she's also not too interested in all of this. Maybe she's something like me. But after a while, she tapped me on the shoulder. She was sitting behind me. So she tapped me on the shoulder and she asked me a question. She said, "What do I need to do to become like you?" And to me, even now it gives me goosebumps because I don't think any of us, thought of it like that. We have a day off. We think the girls need some enjoyment, some fun, some food, which they do need, I'm not denying that. We really didn't think beyond that to say, how do we get those girls to be like us and better than us? Okay. And since then, my thought process in terms of community work, voluntary work, impact work has been very, very different. And I think something that we will tell you today could possibly answer that girl's question that she asked, how can I be like you or maybe better than you, right? So with that, let me take you through what we have in mind in terms of how we think we can achieve the 100,000 or more numbers in this DigitALL Marathon. Let me bring back the slides. So as Madhura said, we have a partner, IBM, and we're going to use their platform, which is the Skills Build platform, which has a plethora of courses, digital and other courses too. And I'll quickly take you through in terms of what does this platform offer, because to start with, we are going to use this platform and the courses that are available on this platform as an offering to all the learners that we're going to bring into this DigitALL Marathon. So Skills Build has 3 kinds of courses. There are foundational courses, there are intermediate courses, there are advanced courses. So it is vast and each of us can, pick up whatever we want to do and, delve deep into it. We've gone through the entire list of courses. And if we have to bucket it, because there were a lot of questions from people who asked me, okay, what kinds of courses are these? Only then I will know whether I can play a part in this or not. So there are 6 main buckets. One is just exploring the emerging technologies, very, very introductory, right? So that people can at least have a conversation, when somebody says cloud computing, AI, cybersecurity, and all these terminologies, they know what it is. It is not Greek and Latin. They understand to a level that they are able to appreciate that conversation, right? A very introductory level of, courses, which they call as exploring emerging tech. Then there is a second set of courses which are called as working in a digital world. Some of the essential skills if someone wants to really work in a digital project, if I may say. So which is again, a little more deep dive into cloud computing, AI, data and analytics, blockchain, security, and a few others. The third stream of courses which are available are what we call as professional skills, because it's not enough to just, be well-versed in your domain and your technology. You also need to know how to work in an organization. So there are courses which are around collaboration, creating and delivering presentations, communicating impactfully, dealing with challenges, and solving problems, implementing solutions. The fourth set of courses that is available on this platform is called Job Application Essentials, which are around building your presence online, conducting thorough and effective workplace research, creating a strong entry-level resume, even though you don't have any prior experience, etc. So it's more around interview skills, getting to make yourselves visible to the outside world so that you are a candidate that is sought out. The fifth one is around entrepreneurial mindset, and the sixth one is explorations into mindset. So these are the plethora of courses which are available on SkillsBuild, and we can choose all of them. We can choose some of them, and that's a strategy that some of you may want to decide once you've decided, okay, I want to kind of take a part in the DigitALL Marathon. We as a team have thought through of certain courses which we believe are the right fit for the target segment that we will largely be going into, but those we can talk about as we get deeper into the how of the project. But I thought I'd just tell you about what kinds of courses are available on SkillsBuild. So it's totally self-paced. SkillsBuild is a self-paced platform, and that's how a learner usually would do these courses. Now, the program implementation, and please feel free to put your questions on chat. I think the team is looking at it, and I will take the questions towards the end, unless there is a very compelling question, which one of our team members, Deepti, Sneha, Subha, you can just stop me and tell me if there's a particular question I need to address right now. So the program implementation has 4 big ticket items. One is, of course, the beneficiary enrollment. The 100,000 that Madhura spoke about are the beneficiaries. We want to get 100,000 beneficiaries because these courses are available at no cost to whoever is doing these courses, right? So we're calling them beneficiaries. So we got to enroll them. So we need to find these beneficiaries and then get them onto the SkillsBuild platform and ensure that they choose a course. So that's the second point, which is the course that they would like to choose or we would like to offer to them based on what we think is the right fit for them. And they do the course on the IBM SkillsBuild platform. Of course, we have to monitor for course completions because it's not enough to just get 100,000 people onto the platform. We have to ensure that all of them finish the course that they have picked up. So that's the third aspect of this project. And the fourth is obviously reporting against targets. So we will report against our own targets of 100,000. Are we doing well or not? And similarly, those of you who get involved with us would obviously have a target that you would like to pick, saying that I can do 100, I can do 1,000, or I'm aware of this huge institution where there are 5,000 students or anything of that sort. So we will also need to report against your targets, see that things are going fine or not. And I will tell you how this is going to happen because it doesn't sound very easy, right? There's a SkillsBuild platform and there are so many of you who want to pick up a certain target segment. And then how do we marry all of that and ensure that we are able to deliver to the ask that we have? So complicated chart, but I'll make it very easy to explain it to you, right? So you would have heard of these terms. We are calling some people as the AFH for Aspire for Her Manager. And then we're calling some as change makers, and then eventually the beneficiaries or learners. We'll come to the right-hand side of the college SPOC and facilitator later. So what we are thinking, how we could possibly make this work is that we will seek interest from some of you to be the managers of a certain set of learners. Okay, so as an example, if I'm seeing Sneha there. If Sneha says, I think I can go to this particular college, which has 500 people, and I think I can get these 500 learners to complete the course, we can tell her, okay, you become the AFH manager and you take a target of 500. Now, she may not be in a position to go and talk to each of these 500 of them and say, okay, this is the process and this is how you get onto SkillsBuild, this is how you complete, etc. So she may in turn decide to bring in another layer under her. So she may say, okay, I will go to these 5 departments in the college, or I may go to these 5 sections in the college and appoint someone called as the change maker. So in the computer science department, I take Changemaker 1. In the political science department, I take Changemaker 2, and so on. I think each Changemaker commits to getting their entire class. And this is an example, right? We can kind of extrapolate and say it could be a college, it could be a community, it could be an apartment, it could be wherever. I'm just taking a simple example of a college and different sections in a college. Each of the departments, each of the sections appoints someone called as a change maker, who is responsible to get everyone in that class to complete the course that has been decided on the Skills Build platform. So that's the layer that we have. So there is an AFH manager who takes a larger target of 500,000, whatever, under whom they can themselves find change makers who are much closer to the learners. The end goal is to learners, the beneficiaries, to complete the courses, and then eventually the learners, who we see whether they are completing or not. Why did we think of this model? Because otherwise it's extremely hard for us to look at and follow up with the 100,000 learners to say, hey, what is happening? You've not completed, you kind of onboarded on the system 20 days ago, but I don't see progress and all of that. It's extremely, extremely hard to do that one-on-one conversation. So we thought this structure would help us. Largely, I think we are able to fit this structure into any of the spaces that you would like to go to. You may want to go to certain communities, you may want to go to your apartment complexes, you may want to go to your clubs, you may want to go to your colleges. Largely, I think we are looking at colleges. So you will have the AFH manager, the change maker. So one AFH manager may have multiple change makers. As you can see, AFH manager 1 has change maker 1, 2, 3, and each of the change makers will have X number of learners. That again is a target that you take on based on what you see where you can go and get the DigitALL program launched and completed. Now, who are these two people on this side that I have shown? When you go to a college, now I gave the example of Sneha, who's studying in a college, and hence she may have direct contact with certain departments and certain classes and be able to do it herself. Now, if we don't have a direct connect within the college, what we may want to do is identify a point of contact from the college, who could be a placement officer, dean, or whoever, and have a conversation with them to say that we want to launch DigitALL in your college. So that college SPOC is the enabler for you, who gets you all your learners. Now, I don't want to complicate matters here. The SPOC could become your change maker, or the SPOC may identify change makers for you. We can have those discussions once people, tell us that they are interested in doing a particular kind of a role. But because we are also seeing that a large number of these will come from the colleges, the college SPOC becomes a very important stakeholder, and the AFH manager will be in constant touch with the SPOC to get this program launched and completed in the college. We also have course facilitators. Now, while I told you that Skills Build is a self-paced learning platform, and the courses range from anywhere between 30 minutes to many, many hours, but the ones that we have identified, which we believe is the right set for majority of the learners that we may be approaching, are probably around 3 to 4 hours of self-paced study. We thought, we don't want to leave the control to the learners and say, okay, here is the link to Skills Build, go ahead, do it, let us know when you're finished, or we will see the report on Skills Build. We want to kind of keep the control with us, which means that we identify a day when you as a manager or a change maker go to the particular college or to the community in person or maybe on Zoom like this. And we have a facilitator who actually takes them through that particular course, say a data analysis course, which is there on Skills Build. The person has to do the course on Skills Build, has to get certified with the badge on Skills Build for sure. But we enable that learning. I think this model we've tried in the past and works better because one, there is a large number sitting together. Two, they are more motivated, inspired because there is a facilitator whom they can ask certain questions. The facilitator is able to guide them through, after this screen, maybe this is where you need to go. They can talk about certain questions or assignments that they are getting into, which may be a little challenging, and eventually complete the course then and there in that 1 hour or 90 minutes that we designate for that college or for that community. So this is how we are envisaging this program will be run. And hence the 201 of you, if I exclude a few of the team members here who are enabling this program, the 195 people, we are looking at you to show us interest in the space of becoming an AFH manager or becoming a change maker, and taking this further to maybe colleges, maybe communities. Or you may also say that, okay, I think I can be a course facilitator. I would love to do some of these courses on skills build and then facilitate that. And we can then bring you on as facilitators when AFH manager one, whoever that is going to XYZ college, we send the course facilitator along with them. Or if we are doing a Zoom session for a large number of learners who have enrolled, we can get you as the facilitator to facilitate that course. So this is the structure that we are envisaging, and these are the roles that we are looking at a very high level for you to play. Now, there are some more slides that I do want to go through, but at this point in time, I will pause and take questions. Are there any questions related to this on the chat, Sneha, Deepti?
Yes, Neeraja, there are a couple of questions, but I think we are getting it answered as you're progressing through the slides itself.
Okay.
So maybe we
all right. So nothing.
There's one
could
question.
pick a few towards the end of the session itself. Yes.
Sorry, there's one question where somebody's asked you to explain the role of a facilitator once again. Can you do that?
Sure, I'll do that. So as I said, Skills Build, Noila, I'll come to you. So Skills Build is a self-paced learning platform. Many of us have done courses on Coursera, Udemy, a lot of these, and some of you may have done it on Skills Build also, which means that I go into this platform, I look at a course and I enroll into the course and I do it myself because there are videos and tutorials. I go through that, then I come to the assignment assessments. I, put in my answers. If they are correct, then I've kind of passed the course. If they're not correct, they may ask me to redo certain sections of the course, and then I eventually get my badge. This is how the Skills Build platform is. What we are thinking will help to ensure that we keep control and are able to get all the learners to complete the course in one go, instead of, as I said in the example, Sneha goes to a college and 500 learners. Now, I can't keep waiting for the 500 learners to complete it, whenever they feel like or wish for, because we also are looking at, are we reaching the target or not? And if we are not reaching the target, maybe we need to go to more colleges, we need to go to more communities. So the approach that we are thinking is, while everyone will get onto Skills Build and they will have to do the course on Skills Build, this facilitator, this person who may be me as an example, and I think that I can facilitate a data science course, which is what this particular college has chosen for their students. I go to that college in person, or I'm available on a Zoom like this, and all the students are sitting over there. I tell them log into Skills Build, open your Skills Build on the data science course. But I'm going to explain as the person, the trainer, facilitator, trainer, whatever you want to call that, teacher. I'm going to explain that entire course and the students understand, and also then progress on Skills Build towards completing that course in that 1 hour or 90 minutes. So you have the entire 500 of them who are sitting in that room who complete it then and there. That's what the role of the course facilitator, course trainer is. Is that understood? Whoever asked that question? I don't know. We'll have to look for the response on the group. Yes. Okay. Noila, you had a question? Okay. I don't know if Noila wrote the question here. Otherwise, we'll come to
Noila, you can raise your hand once again, and I will request for you to unmute.
Yeah, there's Noila.
Yes, please go ahead.
No, you are muted, Noila.
I've asked her to. Yeah.
Hi, Nirja, and hi, everyone. Nirja, when you say schools, what is the age limit? What are the classes that you are looking at
So, yeah.
for this course? That's question number one.
Yeah. So for sure, we are looking at everyone who's, into an undergraduate program for sure. We start there. We are having a conversation and we were told that we can look at 11th and 12th standard students also. And that's a conversation which we are having, and I will get back to you in terms of is that doable or not. But I believe that is doable, but it would be from the 11th standard if that comes through.
Okay, great. The second thing is there are a couple of destitute homes that we work with, and there are children out there who are homeless. During the summertime, they are left all alone back in the homes out there. And I think that this program for those who are getting into the 11th and 12th will benefit.
Sure.
While there is an alumni also being created of those children who, unfortunately, with the new government rules, after the age of 16, many of them have to go into other foster home care, and they stay individually, while a couple of homes are bringing in this alumni, getting them together. So there are a lot of children who are in the undergraduate program living in hostels. And again,
Sure.
they come back to a home during the summer vacations and things like that. Can we kind of facilitate something like that for such kind of homes during the summer?
I think definitely, I mean, Noel, as an example, if you think you would like to lead that effort, you may want to become the AFH manager towards, going to all those homes. And then, of course, the age factor is something that, we will have to clarify. As I said, 11th and above is okay, is what I understand, but I will get that clarification confirmation from IBM, and then we can take it forward. But for sure, why not? I mean, that's what I meant by clusters, communities, where do you want to go and, do this on a large scale.
Okay, thank you. And the third last question is, there are a couple of, what are those, community colleges, which have a one-year diploma programs, which is a co-ed college. And there are a lot of them who are looking out for such kind of programs, facilitators to come in and give their children the opportunity. And these are children, irrespective of their caste, creed, color, height, age and district, who are there. And one such person had approached my husband, who's very close to all of them, asking for such kind of a program. As well, Aspire for Her is wanting to roll it out for the girls. What is there a possibility of opening it up for the boys who are also there?
I think, Nija, first of all, let me just get in here. And Noila, thank you for doing what you do. It sounds absolutely amazing. And every day I get surprised by the sort of fantastic work being done in our community, which we don't know anything about. And I'm so glad that we're having this conversation and we had a chance to get to know your work. Well, when we are going to a particular college or a community, while our interest is obviously to hit, as many girls as possible, we do not want this to be exclusionist in any way. So if we go to a college, we do want to open it up to both to girls and boys. Or if we go to a community, we do want to open it up to both girls and boys. Because, if you sort of keep men outside the purview of the revolution movement that we're trying to sort of inspire, it just gives rise to a lot of bad vibes. It gives rise to a lot of negativity, and we don't want that to happen. So Noila, we're quite happy if you go to a community where there are both girls and boys, and you want to offer it to all of them. Once we go to a community, once we go to a college, we would not like to be keeping a Chinese wall and saying, oh, this is only for girls and boys are not allowed. We do not want to do that at all.
Oh, excellent! Thank you so
that's,
much.
And just thought I'd mention that. Nija would have said the same thing, but I just wanted to say thank you because you are doing something outstanding, doing something amazing. Thank you for doing what you do.
In fact, we as a family are doing it, and Nirja knows. It's my husband who is the leader of all of this. He's been doing this from his 8th standard.
Wow. Wow.
And
Wow.
unfortunately, he has not got the right break with the right place, okay, with the right kind of people for him to take it forward. But he gets flooded with huge number of calls. And what I do is just support him.
No, amazing. Thank you
My
so much.
son
Thank
does
you.
it,
Thank you.
he supports. So he's been getting a lot of calls, with these kind of questions from a lot of communities. He's been associated with the Don Bosco community since then, and they've been asking these questions. In fact, the director of the college in the community college of St. Joseph's had a meeting with him last week, and similar questions were asked, and that's why I brought it to the forefront. So if
No,
that
fantastic. I'm sure Nidya will have a lot to discuss with you. So we'll just give a chance to some of the others as well to,
Yeah,
to
sure. So
raise their
Noella,
hand.
yeah,
Thank you, Noel.
you're there as one of the AFH managers here, done.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we'll take quickly questions from Shivani and Nidhi because they have raised their hands. We'll take quick questions, and then there are a couple of slides that I still need to go through, and then we'll open it up for questions with everyone. Shivani, you have to unmute. Okay, please unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
Hi, good evening. Congratulations to the entire team of Aspire for Her. I haven't been very involved with the organization, but I have been seeing a lot of things that you have been doing, especially on LinkedIn. That's my introduction to Aspire for Her. And congratulations on all the things that you're doing, especially because I'm a mother too, and I had taken a break in between, long back, of course. And getting back to the corporate world or getting back to the job in itself was a bit of a tough, thing when people would ask you, do you have people at home to help with the child? And is anybody staying with you? That these are the kind of questions rather than asking about your skill set, which was, of course, disheartening. But coming back to the point, I think a lot has been answered by, your conversation here. I am also a board member of one of the nonprofits, and I am also chief mentor with a fintech that is based in Assam. So I was wondering if there is a way we can, I could involve the founder of the nonprofit and kind of get into, because this is a great, opportunity for women to learn and upskill. So I was wondering if that's possible. Mainly, what we are doing is through this nonprofit, we are working in Bihar, Jharkhand, and Assam, and mostly Northeast. We have a good reach in the Northeast. So especially the Northeast, where I have seen they have always been kind of, I wouldn't say cut out from the rest of the country, but yes, in a way that is the case. They are not really very involved with what goes on in the economy. And this would be a fantastic way because this is online. They don't have to be physically present anywhere. So maybe we can drive it towards up Northeast and also the eastern part of India.
We are looking at to kind of impact across the country for sure. And we would love for you also to kind of, so what we'll do at the end of this program, the session is, one, we will roll out a form here. And we'll also send out an email to everyone who's kind of attended this session or shown interest to say, okay, what capacity would you like to be part of this? So you may be that manager in this case, and you will, kind of connect us through you to these NGOs and other communities there.
Sure.
And then, we can have that conversation and take it ahead. Maybe some of you want to say, no, that's not my forte, but I can, connect you with a college SPOC. And then if you can kind of take it on from there, great. We'll have some people here who've decided that they would like to manage, but they may not have a direct contact, but here is someone who can connect us and we can take it from there. So there are various combinations possible in this model, and we want you to tell us through that form, which we will send out towards the end of this session. And then we will have conversations with you one-on-one and take it from there. I do see a lot of hands up. Yeah, thank you, Shivani. I quickly finish up what I had. Maybe some of your questions may get answered. Otherwise, we'll definitely come back to you. So I already told you about the upskilling, the different ways we can do that. One is the learners go and do it themselves, very self-motivated, inspired. That's one option. The second I said is facilitator-led in-person sessions. Sometimes it's good for the facilitator if you have facilitators across and in those cities where we want to conduct these sessions. And that's why we are also looking for facilitators through this. And they go and they complete, they get the entire college class to finish it on that particular day in that 90 minutes that we allocate for it. Or we are also going to be scheduling regular Zoom sessions where the facilitators, will come in. We'll have a set of learners who come in. We will have sent out the invites. We will have put out a calendar saying Data Science 101 is going to be happening on this day at this time. The Zoom link goes out, people come in, facilitator led, and we get them to complete it on the skills build. So there are 3 ways that we've thought of. The reporting, so that we all know things are happening. There's going to be a drill down report made available, which will be at the level of the AFH manager, change maker, and learner. Important because we need to know, okay, this AFH manager had 5 change makers, and you also would like to know, okay, who is able to do and who is not able to do, and why not able to do. Does that person need more support? And so that kind of a reporting. The status will be available in terms of have you been able to onboard all of these people to Aspire for Her, and then they have been able to get onto Skills Build. Are they on Skills Build and not completing the sessions, or they have completed this? So it's going to be a very comprehensive report, which we will need to look at, and which we will also be giving to each of you who take on these roles, so you know where to focus your efforts on and whom to chase and whom to applaud. Yeah, it's going to be a daily report. We are looking at a dashboard which will be refreshed every day because we get the data from Skills Build on a daily basis. So you will get a daily update as per that report. We are also looking at, an honorarium for those of you who will be part of this journey as AFH managers and change makers, based on what you specify to us would be, a target that you can take on based on your network, your bandwidth. So the target in terms of onboarding as well as completing. So that's something that we can discuss. This is a simple snapshot of how that report would be. So at an overall level, say, we at Aspire for Her, because it's not 25,000, it's 100,000. And we are getting a view of, okay, we've completed only 1,000 as of day 1. Then we look at, okay, the Aspire for Her manager 1, maybe Noella took a target of 1,500, but she's at 150 today. The second manager, Shivani, took a target of 1,000 and she's at whatever, right? And then a further drill down. So Noella had 3 change makers under her. Each of them had taken on a target, and what is the state of completion and where each of those are. So if 45 have completed, out of the rest, where are they? So they're yet to start. They are in the mid of doing the program. Or, you still have to, get these learners. They've still not gotten onto AFH and Skills Build. So a very comprehensive report will be available so that you know where to focus your energies on a daily basis, whom to chase, and whom to kind of say, okay, you've done well. Do you want to do more, right? We have to reach that target. Why would you want to be part of this program? I don't even think I need to tell you, because by now, and from the answers that I got, in the chat when even before Madhura and I started speaking, we know that you're excited about this. For me, I always remember that girl who said, how can I be like you? Which is the driving force for me to be associated with anything like this. So obviously you become a part of the digital skilling revolution of India. You can upskill yourselves. You can be the change maker. You can create the impact in your communities, in the ecosystem. You can build your own leadership skills, because this is actual leadership of a program that is taking us towards 100,000. I also told you about a little bit of the honorarium that we would like to give. So that also takes you towards your journey on financial independence, especially for students and returnees who are yet to kind of start their jobs. You have an opportunity to mentor your peer community in many ways. We are also sensing interest from industry leaders. We've kind of heard industry leaders tell us that if there are some really good change makers in there who've done phenomenal work, we would like to get associated with them. Maybe they can be part of our industry projects. We would like to mentor them to see how they can go further. So those opportunities and many more such opportunities will come your way if you become part of this program. And that's what we have. We're looking forward to you all joining our movement. As Madhura said, our community, it is growing as we speak. I'm sure with the 100,000, it's just going to kind of go bust this number that we have put on the slide. So I will stop sharing and take questions. Where is my stop sharing? Yes. So we can go with people who've raised hands, and then Sneha and Deepti and Subha, please tell me if there are questions from the chat which we need to answer. Rajalakshmi, would you like to unmute yourself and speak?
Hello, everyone. You can call me Raji. So I live in Manchester, and as mentioned, I'm quite keen about this returnships and all that. So my question always has been, there is a mention of the cybersecurity skills and all of that. So is there any partnership with industry certification providers or companies like Google and probably for cybersecurity, probably CompTIA or something, where we can get some discounted exam vouchers or something that kind of encourages the students to pursue the courses more as a target oriented or goal oriented? That's my first question. And my second question is again in relation to the industry, because what I have seen most of the times is when a returner applies for a job, it takes them a lot, especially for women. It takes a lot for them to apply for a job because generally women has this tendency to try to be perfect, and if they are not 100% qualified or they're not feeling fitting the bill for all the job requirements, they may not apply for the job. So is there any effort or anything going on in the direction that saying that okay, even if you are not if you think you're not 100% qualified, still you can apply, probably give it a try kind of thing from the employers? Because that is kind of a change in the recruitment language, or so to speak, change in the attitude towards how returners are being considered as.
So Raji, I think the question is very valid, and that's what Aspire for Her does on a larger scale. One of the communities that Madhura spoke about is the community for women on a career break. So beyond DigitALL is one of the initiatives that we've launched at Aspire for Her now. But we have beyond DigitALL many other initiatives that are running. And you would have seen the slide which talks about the changing mindset model that we have, which is around mentorship, which is around bringing courses, which is around looking at employers who can come and look at these candidates in a favorable manner. So that's happening as we speak. So that's another path which is running on its own. From the IBM Skills Build DigitALL program, we are looking at the courses that are being offered on this platform and looking at taking this to the communities that we would like you to spread awareness on. Okay. However, for the rest of it that you have asked, in the larger AFH landscape, it is happening. And we can definitely have another conversation around it separately to give you more details around it. I hope that answers.
Okay, so just a question about the certification. So have we got any such kind of arrangements, or is there any possibility, or
so
have we got anything like
there
that?
are other certifications that are going on as we speak. We had AWS certifications last year. We did Google certifications. So these keep coming. Now, a very specific one, if you're asking, I will have to look into that. But there are many other certification programs also going on in parallel, where the sponsors actually provide either discounted vouchers or free of cost, opportunity for the learners to take up the certifications. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anything on the chat that I need to look at? Deepti, Sneha, Subha, please let me know. I'm just looking at the hands up and taking it up. Dipali, any questions regarding the DigitALL, whatever we spoke about? It will be good to address that.
Yes, Neeraj. One question is, what is the criteria to choose the role? Can we choose by ourselves? So can you just shed a little bit light?
So I told you what a manager is looking. We are expecting a manager to do. I told you what a change maker. A change maker is going to be more in connect with the end learner, right? So if you think that's the kind of a possibility that is available to you, then you become a change maker. If you think that no, you would like to lead a set of change makers and guide them and ensure that they are able to go and get the learners to complete, then that's a higher leadership role that you can do. And then of course there's a facilitator role. So I have to kind of show the form also, and we are 1 minute away from closure. So I will get people to go through. Sneha, do you want to show them the form to say this is where you express
Yes.
interest? And we will have conversations with people who express interest through that form to say, okay, what was your thought process? What do you think? I mean, all of us want to do a lot of things, but what is a thought that you have in terms of how will you achieve this? We'll have those conversations, and then we can kind of decide, maybe for you, it's a manager role, maybe it's a change maker role, or maybe, it's you can just connect us to Spox if you think that that's all that you wish to do. Okay. So I will come to the questions, but since we are at 7 and there might be people who will drop off, I will take them through the form. And okay, there is the form.
You can please share your screen and I'll
I'll
take
do
them
that.
through
I'll
it. Can you
do
hear
that.
me clearly?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so Deepti will be sending the form link in the chat box right now. You can pick up the form from there. I will quickly run all of you through what the form requires so that we are able to get correct data from all of you and then accordingly reach out to you based on your interests. So the form is fairly simple. You'll have to fill in your email ID, name, first name, your gender, as well as your contact number. This is going to be the first set of personal details it asks you to fill. As we scroll further down, there are these two fields are extremely important. So your LinkedIn profile URL is something we're going to be assessing who you are and what you've done in the past by. So if your LinkedIn profile is not updated, please do update your profile and then share the link with us. It is important for us to be able to see the work you've done so that we can assess. And the next question is just a very basic question which says, why do you wish to join this project? So you can input as much as text as you want to over here. This question is purely for us to be able to understand what kind of an idea you've got of the project after this session, what kind of strategies you have in mind, how you wish to reach out to people, or what you wish to do as part of the role that you're applying for, through which we know that, okay, person XYZ who has applied is interested to be a part of this project and actually has an idea or some sort of an abstract at the moment, which we can further work on when they come to be a part of this role. And we really encourage all of you to fill this question descriptively, because we will be reading through the answers in order to be able to assess if you are, if we can go ahead or not. I'm just seeing a lot of questions coming to me personally. I will look at the chat box in 2 minutes.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, I just want to add here.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, that you see, we are 160. We were at 200 at a point in time. We've got 600 people who are interested in this initiative, and some of them were not able to join this particular session. So we'll send out the recordings. So you can imagine conversations with 600 in one go is not possible. So what we'll do is we'll look at this response to say, okay, this person for sure has immediate touch points somewhere, and we can get them started quickly, and we'll get them onboarded first, and then we'll come to the next set of people, because we do need everyone. There's no denying that. So the response to this will help us to say, okay, who are the first ones, and then we go on to the next few. Yeah, go ahead, Sneha.
Yes, the next question is just the 3 roles that we spoke about today. So we're hoping that all of you here have understood clearly what the responsibilities of each of these roles entails. So based on that, whatever you feel you will be most suited for, what you're interested in, what you feel you can perform the best in, please go ahead and choose that particular role. And there's also another question that just for us to again get an idea of how you'll be working with us. We've asked a very basic question on the number of hours you will be able to commit on a weekly basis to this project. It doesn't have to be an accurate number, it's just an estimate. So you can give us a time range of how much time you'll be able to commit, so we understand where you'll be coming from. And the last question again is, it's an optional field, but if you would like for us to be able to see your resume so we can see past experience of yours or anything you've done in this field, or just anything which will help us understand why you're a good fit for the particular role, please go ahead and upload your resume as well. A whole lot of you asking me to send this form across over email. Yes, all those who joined this session, the form will get sent to you over email as well, because we understand it takes time for you to actually process everything that we told you today. So in a day or two, you can actually think it through and then tell us what roles you're interested in. Are there any other questions specifically?
There was one I saw where somebody asked, can I do all the 3 roles? Well, you can do all the 3 roles. In the form, we've just made the form that you can put only one role, but when we have the conversation with you, we can understand that you might want to be a manager, you want to do a facilitator role, also perfect. We can have that conversation, but in the form, it takes only one. Okay.
Yes, there's another question which has come to me, which says, what if I don't want to do any of this, but just want to be a part of the program and learn? Absolutely. Everybody who's a part of this community will get an opportunity to learn. We're not going to hold you back from that. And also everybody who's a manager, change maker, or facilitator can also learn. And we'd say you will have to learn, because how are you going to be a part of the project if you don't really know what we're going out to people for? So everybody on this call will be a learner. Please don't worry about that.
Yeah, so I know 7:04, if some people have to drop out, okay, but I'm okay to stay on here to take questions for those who are okay to stay on. Yep. Subha?
Yeah, I'm just asking Subha to unmute because she has something she had to say.
Okay, fine, sure.
Yeah, Nisha, I think we had a question at the very beginning. Is this course only for people in India or is it outside as well?
I don't see a reason why someone outside can't take it. I don't think so. I think everyone is welcome.
Do learners get certificates from IBM? These courses are going to be digital credential-based courses. So the mode of certification is through a badge, and the badges will be verified badges from IBM, by which I mean to say the IBM logo will be present. It's not certificates, but it's credentials in the form of badges you can add to your LinkedIn profile, and you'll get links which you can showcase on your resume as well.
Soumya is there and she's answering.
Oh yeah, we have Soumya Prasada here.
Okay, let me take all these hands up questions. Deepali, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi Neeraja. Thanks for this wonderful session and the information. Okay, I have a question. I'm based in London basically, and I'm still thinking after your presentation how I will be able to contribute actually, because if you say the managers or the second level is a change maker, where you need a lot of personal contact with the community, which is mostly based in India. So I was just trying to think maybe you have some thought points on how I will be able to contribute.
You can drop me an email. You have got an email from us, which is how you came to this session. Drop me an email saying that at the moment, I can't think of my contribution to any of those three roles, but I would still like to be part of this. And for sure, we'll have a conversation and we'll see what we can do. Okay. Thank you, Deepali.
Sure.
Anusha.
Thank you.
Anusha Chakrabarti, and we need to unmute. Are you able to unmute yourselves? Yeah.
Yes. Hello, and thank you for the insightful session. I have a couple of questions. One is, I head ITRITI Foundation based in Kolkata, and I know a lot of my male counterparts would love to be in one of these roles. So is this open to, I understand that the course is intended for women, but can the manager, facilitator, change maker be a male? Is my first question. Second question is this linked to employment in any way? If we can partner with corporates or other organizations, can we make that linkage? Is that part of the future next phase? And third is, in my communities where we work, they don't go to school much, but they do vocational training. So can we incorporate that also?
So your question, first one, as we said, we are inclusive. I don't see any reason why, your male colleagues can't come and, take on any of the roles. I don't see that as an issue. The second one was in terms of this leading to employment. This particular program, we have not connected it with employment, but across Aspire for Her, that is what we are looking at, right? Eventually looking at people to be either in employment or entrepreneurship. Education is what DigitALL is providing. So everyone who becomes part of this can keep looking at what opportunities come through the Aspire for Her network, and they can apply for that. And the third question, sorry, I'm forgetting it.
It was around the underprivileged communities who have access to vocational training, not colleges or schools.
That's okay. We're not restricting it. When I said a college or a school, we're just looking at where we find the large masses. So vocational courses are also fine as long as they are able to kind of understand. Right now, I think we are looking at English as the language, but we are also exploring if we can do it in regional languages. So that's where it is.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for addressing it.
We can have Nidhi Sharma and Nidhi, are you? Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Neerja, and thank you, Madhura and team. Awesome, awesome initiative. I'm glad you guys are doing this, and I'm always so in awe of Madhura that she can pull such big partnerships in such a short time. So much to learn there. So I would definitely be applying to be a change maker. I'm someone who's based out of London, 20 years of work ex, but very dedicated to make sure Indian women are safe, Indian girls are empowered, and this will go huge ways. So I can always start. I've always started thinking of how many schools, colleges, organizations, people, kids, family, friends I can connect this to. I just had one thing, if we could give more thought to it, given I come from L&D background, I know getting people to complete online courses is a big thing. If that is our target, and I know Madhura's other courses, other programs have got some incentives, if you join Entrepreneur Nari, you get some free access to, let's say, Zoho platform for some time. So if we could think of some perks like that from a partnership level, I think that would really help us to make the change beyond just registration for course completion. And my other question you've already answered, I think. My other question was about, can we take it to rural communities? Because I volunteer and mentor a couple of rural NGOs. And you said you're trying to look at it Hindi. So that would be very, very beneficial because a lot of people...
We'll explore that for sure. When you said incentives, you're looking at learner incentives?
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's something that I'm not sure. I mean, Madhura, if you're here, you got to take that question. At the moment...
Maybe if we don't have now, but maybe if we can give something through our existing partnerships, maybe they can get more jobs and like they can get preference in jobs and applying to IBM or somewhere else. I don't know what that could look like, but that would really help.
Okay, we'll keep that as a point.
Yeah, because I've worked for many years in the corporate, and we've got many portals like this, like Coursera and everything to people, and it's very hard to get them to.
And that's why we have this facilitator-led model where, and I know that, facilitator is there, but the class has to be filled with students to be able to listen to the facilitator. I get that. But yeah, sure. I'll give that point. I'll revert on that one. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Namrata.
Thanks, Nirja and the rest of the team here. Am I audible to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was keen in understanding the possibilities of collaboration since the beginning when you started, explaining this. The reason being, I work with certain networks of girls, young girls and women in Bihar, and also we have a pan-India network that I'm part of change makers, and so our work is to ensure these young girls from rural, they are semi-rural, not completely rural, semi-rural and rural areas get a chance to aspire for better career opportunities and stuff like that, and they're very ambitious. In fact, when they get the chance, they're really ambitious. And school age, excuse me, just a second, okay.
Okay, while Namrata comes back, Rekha, do you want to take your question?
Yeah. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah.
Good evening to all, and happy to be here with you all on this platform. My question is with regard to the content of the course. So is the facilitator going to create based on which area the person wants to choose, or is it provided, or is it both? Like, do we coordinate and create the content? How does it go? That's my first question. And the second question is, just to add to the structure of the program, it would be a good idea to stipulate a minimum number of hours per week. That would guide the course facilitator. That could be of real good help, so that we know it's not like a rigid platform where I have to do this, but if I haven't, say the specified number is 4 hours, And this week I have done only 2 hours. I know I have to make up the next 2 hours in the coming week. No, it's just to add to the value of the program. So these are my two questions. Thank you.
So Rekha, on question number 1, the course material is already there on Skills Build, the IBM Skills Build platform. These are courses which are designed and delivered by IBM professionals. So the content is there. So we are not looking at building content at this stage. What we are looking at is, and we have also, as I said, out of all the courses which are there, our team has thought through that these 4 or 5 courses might be a good starting point for a large number of communities and colleges that we approach. However, on a case-to-case basis, the AFH manager can sit down with the community or the college that they go to and say, okay, which is the right course for this set of audience, and pick that particular course from Skills Build. So the content is already there. We are not going to develop new content. The facilitator role is only to enable everyone to complete the course, in a specified period of time. Now, I said that courses are there from 30 minutes. You've got very short courses, 30 minutes. Some of the badge courses are 3 to 4 hours, and then there are very deep dive courses also. Since we are looking at building an exposure into digital skills through this program, we are looking at majority of the learners picking up a course which is 3 to 4 hours. And these 3 to 4 hour courses can also be compressed to an hour max of 90 minutes, which is where the facilitator comes in. So if I schedule a call like this, where I have 96 participants, I will facilitate a data analysis course, which is actually 3 hours as an example on Skills Build. I will ask all of you to open your Skills Build and say, okay, go to the data analysis course. And I will here on my side explain to you every course content that is coming on Skills Build. So you are walking with me on your online platform. And then you come to the end of it, you answer all the assessment questions, and you get the badge which Sneha was talking about. So that's how we will complete. A learner is free to do as many courses he or she wishes to after that. But the first completion we are looking at like this. And then after that, if the college wants them to do another course and they want to bring everyone together, have a facilitator and get that done, that's a possibility. If the learners feel now have access to this, and I saw 10 other, inspiring courses, I want to do that, it's up to them. One course is what we are looking at, which the facilitator from our side, or could be you, if example, will take the student through. And so it's only, I think, the 3 hour course, that's what we are averaging to, and we will complete it. Now, if you're asking the question from a facilitator's perspective to say how many hours in a week, and that's what we have kind of asked, how many hours do you think you can spend for this program? If you tell me that I want to be a facilitator and I can spend 4 hours per week, we'll keep that in mind. And you will also say, these are the 2 or 3 courses that I can facilitate. You would have studied those courses on Skills Build yourselves, or you might be the subject matter expert on that. You just have to get to understand what Skills Build is offering. And we'll keep that in mind, that you're available for 4 hours for facilitating every week or every month, whatever that may be. And we'll reach out to you saying that, okay, this is your week's, college that you have to go, or, on Zoom, do the session, conduct the session. Does that answer?
Yeah, it does. And I have just another, suggestion to make, or it could even be a question, which is, at the end of these courses, if we can tell the students that they are going to get a certification as well as a credit, which is especially at the undergraduate and postgraduate level, which is reflected on their marks cards or whatever, that would be an added incentive for the student to complete the course.
Sure. This is something that we'll have to discuss, I think, in some ways with the college authorities,
because
if they can take it. And Rekha, I'm really going to look forward to you helping us out in that space with the colleges that and we'll connect and chat up more about this. Thank you for those, add-ons. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amrita, are you back? If not, then we'll go to Deepa.
Yeah, hi, good evening. So I think I have a lot of the questions have been answered, but I'll just paraphrase to see if I got it right. One of my questions was, say, for instance, how I'm thinking about is if I look at reaching out to government departments during COVID, we realized that a whole lot of people needed to do online outreach, whether it was school teachers, but they didn't have the skill set. Or there were other departments that needed to, start working digitally, but they had no skill set. So if we reach out to, departments, government or otherwise, where does our scope of work end as mediums of AFH? Say if I connect with the head of the department and then they enroll and they say, yes, we will want to have all our female employees or all our middle and higher school teachers be enrolled for this. And once I have established that link, does my role end there once I have established those connections for you? One is that. The other is I wanted to say, for instance, when I look at what as a learner, I want to start from the scratch, but I want to go all the way up to the entrepreneurial mindset. So do I have a gradual upscale where, I've done first, then I move on to the second and the third and so on? And lastly, see, if I'm looking at employees, female employees of, government or otherwise, they only have the weekends or they have evenings. So if, say, we tie up with a particular department, which is feeding you, say, 100 people, learners, will you be able to customize matching with a facilitator that, okay, these women can learn only in the evenings or they can do a weekend course? Is that flexibility available for us to commit upfront to those agencies when we are trying to sort of sell this, course? Essentially, that's what, yeah.
Great. So question number one, where does your role end? It depends on where you want it to end. So if you just want to make a connect and then say that, okay, because this is the best that I could, I've made the connect, I think there is interest, take it on from here and, run with it. We will then identify somebody else as the, manager from our space who will continue, because that is a relationship that has to be built and, ensuring that the completions happen. Or you could be the manager who says, no, I will go ahead because, I have connections here. I understand them better than somebody else who newly comes into this relationship. And you can then take it through completely till, the course completions are achieved. So that's where the role starting and ending point is. In terms of, I want to start at the very beginning, but go all the way till entrepreneurial mindset. As I said, we are looking at a starting point, right? Even with this government organization where we bring these 100 women, we will start them somewhere, right? But if there is interest beyond that and they want to continue doing that as cohort based, because they can do it on their own because now they have access to the platform, but if they still want to do cohort based, we can look at it on a case-to-case basis, looking at availability of facilitators. And those are much deeper, topics, and we'll really have to get facilitators who are deeply into those topics. We can look at it on a case-to-case basis. At the moment, we are looking at starting them off. There was a third question. Evenings or, the flexibility of the facilitator. I think it should be doable because I'm sure we will get facilitators from people who are working professionals, right? But they do want to facilitate. So we can definitely, they may say that I can do it only on weekends or I can do only in the evenings. I think we can look at that flexibility and we can work towards that. You had another question, Deepa?
Yeah, just one quick follow-up, and it's just a thought that, say, if I want to be a facilitator, but not in the technical knowledge, but I am equipped in the vernacular. So I am your AFH manager or the change maker, as also I am, say, for instance, from a Rajasthan background, and I have connected you with a cohort that is all Hindi and Rajasthani speaking. Can you have two facilitators? One is a technical and one is the vernacular till you have a course. So the facilitator can, facilitate the understanding in the vernacular, and we can have that as well. I mean, just a thought.
That's a great thought, and we'll keep it with us and see how we can make that happen. Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll go to Subhashini.
Hello, Neerja ma'am.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. I'm from development side. I'm a Java developer. After that, I took a career break. Now I'm doing some cloud certifications also, but I don't have any teaching experience, ma'am. But I want to facilitate. I like to do teaching, so it is possible.
Please to fill the form because in our previous, cohorts, we have had this. Some of them may be here, right? The Grow with Google program, there were people who did the course and then they went on to facilitate sessions. So, we can definitely explore that. So do fill the form and then we can have a conversation.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that interest. Okay, Namrata, up to you now.
Thanks. I just want to add some fun element here. I was chased by a dog that time.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
All right.
It was a pretty sweet dog, but I didn't know. I was scared for a while. Okay, so I lost my thought like flow, but I'll try to. Okay, so I am part of this network of young girls, and we have a huge cohorts. We run in we train them in cohorts, and we now have around 350 plus trained youths. They underwent 2 years of fellowship program, 200 hours of training for personal development, community mobilization, and career aspirations, and all of that stuff you can think of. So now they're ready and they have a network of their own, their alumni network, and through them they have also impacted over 10,500 students. So we have this is one part where I am, and then I have another part of change maker groups who are of my age group, and those I can see in the managerial role and stuff like that. So now I was thinking of possible collaborations with Aspire for Her in terms of scaling it up. I can see that potential. Now I have two questions here. How do we present this as any different from the course that we already have on various platforms like Coursera, you can say LinkedIn Learning, and then Khan Academy? We use that a lot. Our girls, all the fellows and the students that we have trained, we follow the Khan Academy. So, and we ensure, and I'm just proud to share here that we have 100% course completion with these girls, because they're very ambitious. This is the only chance they have to get out of where they are, that kind of ambitions they have. They have mobility issues, they have certain restrictions. So this is something they don't want to miss. So we have that kind of ambitious girls in these areas, and that's why we work here. I see a huge potential here.
So your question is, how do we differentiate this course from anything else that they've already
in order
done?
to, yes.
Yeah, so I see, this was an orientation for you all to understand what we are going to do. The minute the next step is going to be having conversations with some of you who show interest, and like Namrata, you kind of told us where you can really reach out, and we'll have that conversation. And with each person who's going to become a manager, we will equip you with a deck, something of what we've done today, some orientation, and all those questions that you think will come from those communities, colleges, etc. We'll try and address those. So you will be, supported in that, and then we can take it from there.
Okay, that is one part. And how about the organization to organization collaboration? Do we have any option for that?
What is the organization to organization? I didn't understand.
So organizations that are working with young people, youths, and those.
Is that beyond DigitALL you're looking at?
No, they bring in youths.
Yeah, that's right. So the process is the same. So if you are the AFH manager, you will then connect us with those organizations, and you can identify change makers in those organizations who will work with the youth and get those courses completed. The process is the same. You are enabling us to connect with the community which exists out there. You are the conduit, hence you are the manager, and then the process remains the same.
Okay, fantastic. So there should be one, there would be, I guess, because organizations tend to connect.
And then we will, have those one-on-one conversations.
So there's no option for that kind of information in the form, where.
No, you just fill the form, and that field where we are asking you to tell us what
that would be
thoughts
next
you have.
level. Okay.
Yeah, you can mention, I have connects in XYZ. This is my thought process, which tells us that yes, Namrata already knows of some people. She's not really going to look for people. We'll have the conversation.
Yes. Yes.
Thank
they
you.
are communicating.
I'm very
Thanks for
cognizant
answering.
of the time. There are 65 people still waiting after 28 minutes of the program having to finish. So thank you. Geeta, over to you.
Okay, I wanted some clarity on the content of these courses so we know the kind of audience that we need to be speaking to. But I think you answered that when you said you're going to have another orientation session based on the questions you're going to be asking.
Yeah, so I told you that, at a high level, it is the digital skills, which are, cloud, AI, data science, etc. So that's an introductory layer. We will send out the recording. We may also send you the deck. So you can say, okay, at the introductory level, then there is an emerging technologies route, which means that you go more deeper into cloud, you go more deeper into data analysis, right? And then there is a third stream, which is more employability skills, which is collaboration within teams, etc. Then there is an entrepreneurial mindset. That's a fourth stream. There is a mindfulness, which is a fifth stream. And there's a sixth stream, which is for largely people who are looking out for jobs. So resume building, building your social presence, etc. So these are the 6 kinds of streams that exist. And based on who you think you can reach out to, we can identify the right course.
Understood. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. And we have a last question from Suganya. Yes, Suganya.
Good evening, ma'am.
I can't hear you too well, Suganya.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better.
I was part of the Grow with Google. So I was a facilitator for 2 courses, so I can understand the context of the session. So is it like the same, if we complete the course, we can be the facilitator? And I have a question like, what is the minimum number of students we should join as a AFH manager? Is there any number?
Yeah. So great question. To be able to facilitate, you will need to know the course, which means that you should do the course yourselves. And after that, you can become a facilitator. The difference being Grow with Google was 150 plus hours. These courses are much shorter. The ones that, we are recommending for our larger college community is much shorter. So it will not take you that much of time. That's one. Number 2, the minimum, there are some numbers. We are looking at, something definitely above a 500 to 1,000, at least for an AFH manager as a target. And for a change maker, at least 100, learners a change maker should bring in. This is some kind of a thought that we have.
Okay, so in case if I can bring only 100 or I can guarantee like some 50 members. So
it's okay. I mean, you can be a change maker with 50 also. We are not denying you that opportunity. Please go ahead, become a change maker with 50 also. It's okay. Remember, I also spoke about an honorarium piece. So for that, there might be some, criteria to say, okay, larger than this number of, learners you brought in, then we can look at the honorarium, etc. But yeah, we are happy, any number of learners that you are able to bring in as a change maker, because every number matters.
Okay, so I was confused, like whether which role should I apply? Because I'm keen to apply for facilitator as well. So now I can apply for change maker as well, right?
Sure.
Thanks, ma'am.
Okay, Sneha, you have a question?
No, I don't have a question. I have an answer to a question on the chat.
Okay.
So there was just one question which a bunch of people asked on personal, which is the field in the form, which is asking for details about how we're going to be assessing if they're supposed to join us or not. So for this, the only thing I want to say is if any of you, so this is basically just for us to be able to gather your interest. If we get to know that you're interested in joining the program as part of any of the roles, please fill the form, and in that long text section, just tell us why you're interested to join. So it's a very simple question, and it's not like an exam. So, there's so many people asking me so many questions. It's like, is there a textbook answer? No, there's no textbook answer. We just want to understand why you're interested to join this particular program. There must be something on your mind, something that's driving you. If nothing else, just pure passion. tell us why you're passionate about this and tell us why you wish to apply to a role of this nature. If we realize that you're somebody who is interested, we will reach out to you. So the further things about what kind of communities you can reach out to, how many people, when you will do it, how you will do it, there is going to be another form that will be floated after this where we will ask for more specific details. This is just for us to be able to capture you so that we don't lose you. That's all. All of you who are here, we know you're interested and we want you to be a part of this initiative with us. So please don't worry. Yes, Sunita, the form will get emailed to you right after this, and a whole lot of you asked for the recording as well. We will be emailing the recording as well, so you can go over it later on to understand, or if you forgot something or you forgot to take notes, please re-listen to it and then you'll be able to understand. But do not worry about filling in the form. We want you to be a part of the journey with us, so we will be happy to take you on with whatever. This is just for us to be able to understand why you wish to be a part, so we can accordingly assign roles. I hope that clarified. Like the 8-9 of you who asked
I
this
think
question.
we are also going to build an FAQ because we got lots and lots of questions. So we will attempt to answer all of them. And some of these questions is going to feed into our thought process to say, okay, we haven't thought about this. Let's kind of start looking at, how do we get this also into the program? So for sure, we're going to evolve. I would like to close this and request Madhura, if you're still there, if you want to kind of say some closing words. Ruchita, if there is something that you would like to bring on at this stage before we close the session.
I can see Madhura ma'am is still here. I've just requested her to unmute. I cannot find Ruchita ma'am. Okay, yeah, there she is. Ma'am, are you able to hear us? Would you like to say something?
Otherwise, we have really gone beyond the time that we thought we would take all your questions and give you a brief about this program. It's really brief. What we was really brief, and I know each case would be different because now our understanding is so much better because you're saying you can connect us with government officials, government organizations, rural communities far away from, the hustle and bustle of the metros that we are living in. So definitely it has to be taken on a case-to-case basis. It's not one form kind of fits all. But as I said, the structure of a manager, change maker, learner is just to ensure we are able to track all the work that is going behind the scenes. And hence we have to kind of put everyone into that structure. But eventually the way we handle that particular audience, those participants will be based on what is the requirement there. So with that, all I would say is...
Sorry. I completely forgot that we had to launch a poll for our attendees, and I know more than 3/4 of the audience is left, but I will still launch one of the polls. The people who are here, we'd love to hear from you. So I'm just going to launch that poll right now. Please answer.
The courses are free, Mridula. And I just want to also kind of, I don't see the poll if you've already launched it, Sneha, or maybe because I am the co-host, I can't see it, possibly.
Are you able to launch it from your end? Because it's not letting me launch. Can you just click on the poll and see if you can launch? The first one, Q1.
Q1 poll launch. Okay, hopefully I do the right things.
You've done it right. We can see it.
I learned something. So while people fill up the poll, answer the poll, all I'm going to say is that don't get worried about, do I need to do 500, 100,000, those numbers? I don't have connects with such large communities, colleges, networks, etc. I do want to say that, even one makes a difference. Everyone makes a difference because that's how many of us started in our journey towards creating an impact, and, things kind of, just added on. So if there is a definite interest in answering that girl's question who tapped on my shoulder and I said, how do I become like you? I think we should all become part of this, right? And we will find a way to engage each of you. Did we get responses to the poll, Sneha?
There are about 30 responses. I will keep the poll open for another 15 seconds. I'd encourage everyone here to please respond.
Yeah, this is what happens, when we have so many passionate people that want to do something towards this cause. We forget our own logistics of launching poll at the right time.
Okay, I will be ending the poll in another 5 seconds. Is
Thank
anyone
you
else
for-
who wishes to
Thank you
answer?
for
Please.
responding. Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone. I will be ending the poll. Yeah, we have close to 65 of you participated. A large number of the people who joined and have stayed on are returnees, 56% of the audience. Now we have a whole lot of you who are women in technology and women in college. And we also have 13% of entrepreneurs, which is really nice. We will be reaching out to all of you, and we look forward to having everyone here as part of the marathon with us.
So if there's no more questions and nothing more from anybody, we will end today's session. But this is not the end, this is just the beginning. And we look forward to collaborating and taking this marathon way beyond what we have imagined it can do. Thank you all. Good evening.
Thank you so much, everybody. See you all
Bye.
soon.
Bye-bye.